welcome to my channel. My name's Elaine. This class is specifically for those of you who want to release tightness and tension from your hips. My mom requested this, and so I'm going to be offering it to everyone, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. We're going to start on our backs, so gently come down to the ground. And you may choose, if there's any tension in your lower back, to keep your knees together and your feet apart. If your back feels fine, then you can extend your legs out and just allow them to relax. You could place your hands on your belly and just allow your hands to rest warmly. And then it might be nice just to close your eyes for a moment and just feel your body soften into the support beneath you. Start to feel the relaxation in your feet. And let that just grow up your legs and to your hips. Maybe start to notice the belly as it rises and falls. Begin to feel your shoulders get a little heavier and let the back of your head just relax into the mat. Letting yourself arrive in your body for this practice. So, just taking 2 more breaths here. Okay, we're going to start to bend the knees. We're going to bring the feet as wide as the mat. Take your hands out to the side and just start to roll your knees from side to side. So our hips can move in many different directions. It's a very big ball and socket joint, so we're going to go through those different directions today in our practice. All right, once you've reached here, we're just going to take one leg into the air, and if it feels okay, lift the other leg into the air and just give the legs a bit of a shake. Just releasing any tension, letting all that blood flow down into the pelvic area. And if it feels nice to kind of just move the legs in little circles. Legs can be bent or they can be straight. Just start to bring a bit of fluidity and flow into your hips. We want to bring more movement and freedom to them. So just allow them to move as they like. Good. Okay, we're going to bring the left foot to the ground and we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. Interlace your fingers around your shin. If it feels okay, you could extend the bottom leg out. That will bring more stretch into the front of your left hip. But if that doesn't feel good, just keep the foot on the floor. And then as you breathe in, relax. And as you breathe out, gently draw your knee closer to your right shoulder. As far as that feels okay for your back. And just beginning to bring a little bit more stretch. Okay. From here, we're going to start to circle this leg around. So it might be little circles, it might be big circles. Just start to feel the whole movement of your hip joint as that big bone, the femur, just moves around inside. And then we'll go the other way. Just do a few of those, listening for any sounds. And then placing your foot on your extended leg, bring your opposite hand and just gently take the leg over to the side. So you might feel a little stretch into your back, maybe into the outside of that hip. And just using your breath, gently encouraging that knee to gently drop towards the other side of your mat. Always listening to your body, paying attention to what you notice, and never looking for any sharpness or pain, but just a deep sense of release. Okay, we're going to take that leg down now. We're going to bring the left knee into the chest. And again, your choice whether you extend that other leg or keep it bent. Gentle rocking movement to bring a little bit more squeeze and release into your hip as you breathe in and out. One more. Good. And then allowing that leg and knee to just circle around. Keeping both the sacrum on the floor as you just feel that nice free flowing movement. Just one more time. And then bringing that knee over to the opposite side, the foot can rest on the thigh, and then just gently finding your way into this side. It may be very different, so just notice. Keeping both shoulders on the ground, relaxing your face, and every time you breathe out, finding a little bit more space to rotate into. Okay, let's put that left foot on the floor, lift the right leg into the air. You can point and flex your foot a couple of times just because it's nice to do that. And then bend your knee and put your foot on your opposite knee. Now you can gently press that knee away, and that will give you a little bit of external rotation. The hips can move externally away from the body and internally across, or you could pick up the foot and hold on to the back of that leg. Now just playing with your elbows and bending them enough so that you feel the stretch into your right outer hip. For some people, putting your foot on a chair here can be very nice to press against, or maybe even a wall if you want to use the wall. If you find it hard on the fingers to hold the back of the leg, that's another option. Or you could even put a towel around the back of your leg too. So just taking a couple more breaths just to gently ease your way into this stretch. It is an intense one, so be gentle. This is called Supine Pigeon. Most of these stretches we're doing on our back so that you can just focus on the hips without causing any strain to your lower back. Good. And then releasing that foot down to the floor, lifting the other leg into the air, point and flex the foot a couple of times, and then gently placing that heel on the opposite knee and letting that other knee go away as far as you feel comfortable. And then deciding if you're going to lift that leg up and just hold the back of your leg. I like to kind of move forward and back as I do it. Some people like to be still or go side to side. So just deciding in every pose what feels good for you as you explore and help to release the tension that builds when we do a lot of sitting, a lot of walking or running. Our hips get very tight because we're shortening the muscles, and the muscles sit very deep in the hip socket. All right, so releasing that down now. We're just going to come into a little happy baby pose. So bring both knees in and give them a squeeze, and then just rocking the back from side to side. And let's go into our inner thigh. So take your knees out, hold on to your ankles, and then lift your feet towards the ceiling. And then using your elbows, gently bend the knees down towards the mat. And then if it feels nice, you can rock from side to side. So the inner thighs are part of the hip. This is when we're abducting the hip, moving away from the center line. So this can be a very tight place. So again, holding on to whatever allows you to feel that stretch. Okay, we're going to bring the knees together now. We're going to roll onto our side to come on up. So gently roll over and then slowly bring yourself up. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So gently placing your hands under your shoulders. We'll just do a little cat-cow movement just to free the spine and feel that nice stretch across the back. And then we're going to go into another stretch for the hips. So first we're going to lift the leg up, which will stretch the front of the hip and bring it in. And lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. And now we're going to take the leg out to the side. So touch down and then swing it behind you. Take it in front and take it behind. Again, moving the hip in all of its directions. Last time, we're going to keep that leg behind us and bring the knee behind the other knee. So you might want to move a little more to the center of your mat. You're going to move your feet away from each other to the sides of the mat and then start to press back. Now you have to see how this feels for you. Some people will be able to touch down. Others will be like, oh no, this is too tight. I can't go any further than this. So just see what feels okay. You might want to have a blanket underneath you so that you can support your knees if that feels too much. But come to wherever you can and just take a couple of breaths. So this is internal rotation, bringing the knees to the midline. A very different stretch for the hip than the one we did lying down a moment ago. So just taking some soft, relaxed breaths as you feel into this position. And then slowly bring yourself back out. Take the knees apart and just lower it down into a child's pose and just stretch for a moment. Relaxing your head down toward the ground or putting a block here for your head to rest on if it feels like it can't touch. Few breaths into the back of your body. And then slowly bring yourself back up. And if it feels hard for your hands to be on the ground, you can always put a blanket under here to rest your hands on. So let's take the left leg, swing it and then curl it in. And then up and down, just feeling that nice stretch in the front. Last one. Good. And then we're going to take that leg out to the side and we're going to swing it across and out and across, out. And keeping it across this time, bringing the knee behind the front knee. And then making yourself back slowly into this side. And again, take your time, see where you land. And being up here is fine. I just want you to feel the stretch across that front leg, the one that's on top. You might end up seated back here, you might not. You might find that it is helpful to sit on a block and be here. So that might also be possible. Just see what helps you to feel that stretch. And just take 2 more breaths. Good. And then slowly coming off your block, uncrossing your legs. Good. And now we're going to take the right knee towards the right wrist. And we're going to sit down onto our right butt cheek. We're going to bring this shin parallel to the front of the mat. And then bring the left knee to the right foot. So I'm sitting in a kind of square position. I'm going to take my left hand to my thigh, my right hand behind me. I'm going to gently draw my hip up and down. So now I'm stretching the front of my hip, which is where the psoas is. So really important to get the front as well as the sides and the back. Good. If you want to take this a little bit further, you might want to reach up into the air and down. If that feels okay, just see. One more. Good. And now we're just going to lean forward over our shin. So starting to lean down toward the ground. And this is taking us again into that outer hip, which is where we tend to be tight. You can always have a block to rest on. Lovely, then slowly coming back up and then taking that foot out and just coming into this nice windshield wiper position again, releasing, bringing some flow and movement into the hips. The hips are ruled by the water element, so flowing is really nice for them to feel free. And then keeping the left shin parallel to the front of your mat, bringing the right knee to that foot. And then taking your front hand onto your thigh, back hand behind you, start to rotate the whole thigh around. So twist and gaze back behind you. Just feeling that nice stretch all the way down the front of your thigh and into your torso. Last one. Good. And again, you have the option to lift and lower if that serves you. And then let's slowly roll down to the floor. Checking that you still have that good alignment of your shin with the short end of your mat. Using whatever props can help you to relax. using the weight of your upper body to stretch that outer hip. And then slowly coming back up. Okay, we're going to come into our final pose. So bringing a little stretch into the groin. So bringing your feet together and you're in a kind of square position. And you're just going to start to tuck your chin and roll down towards the ground. So this is bringing a stretch into your inner thighs. A nice stretch for the spine and the back of the neck. If you wish, you can thread your hands underneath your legs and hold your feet. You can also put a block or something if your head is hanging and you want to relax it. And as you breathe out, you can gently press your shins against your forearms and feel how the knees start to relax down. Breathe in, relax. As you exhale, gently press on the forearms. You're squeezing your glutes just a little bit to allow the inner thighs to relax. Last one. And then peeling your arms out and gently bringing your legs together. We're going to come to lie on our back. And for our final pose, take your feet as wide as the mat and just lower the knees to one side. And again, feeling that lovely stretch in the front of your hip as you turn your head away from your knees maybe. Just feeling that nice stretch and gentle twist for your back. Nice soft breath in and out. And then on your next in-breath, lift the knees and gently drop them to the other side. Maybe you turn your head away and just feel into this side. On your next in-breath, gently bring your legs up. We're just going to hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself one last little squeeze. And then gently extend the arm behind you, roll onto your side. And rest there for a moment, as long as you like. And then we're going to come back up. Okay, so that's our sequence. Let me know what you thought. If you want to see more, then maybe you can subscribe in the bottom corner. Please leave me your comments. Let me know how it was for you. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.